Hey guys, welcome to back to the channel. Hope you guys had a good evening. For you guys who watched the draft. I know I did. It was very very cool. Some couple surprising results, especially in the top 10. Which I'm gonna look. I'm kind of gonna look at the top 10, and a couple of surprises went a little in spots that we didn't think. Of course, there was one that went, that was, just obviously no surprise. But one that I'm glad he went to the team that he went to, and I'm glad he didn't go to the team that one of the teams that passed on him. But before I get into that, if you are new to the channel, or you're new to hockey in general, and you love the sport, and and you think hockey is the greatest sport in the world, it would be very, very appreciated, and I would be very, very grateful if you would hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you want to be notified anytime future videos are uploaded, you can tap the little bell, and that will notify you of any new videos that are uploaded. So, obviously, we had a couple of surprises. Obviously, the one that was absolutely no surprise, of course, Connor Bedard going to Chicago. Gotta admit, he looked pretty good wearing that Blackhawk uniform, and he had a big smile on his face. He seems to be very happy to be going there, which is awesome. And with the moves that the Chicago Blackhawks have made, I might have to do an update to my bottom 5 and my top 5 potential favorites to win the draft lottery next year, or favorites to win the Stanley Cup. I might have to go back and redo that. I might have to update that, because there's some teams that weren't in the top 5, and yet we're in the bottom 5. I think I might have to change those around a little bit. So I think I might have to do an updated video on the bottom 5 and top 5, because of the moves that were made by a lot of these teams. And we didn't see any trades either in the first round, which was kind of surprising. A lot of people were thinking, how come there's not any trades? Well, they've all been made over the last week. That's where they've all been. That's where all the trades have been the last week. So they've all been done this week. And I think, for Bedard, having a guy like Taylor Hall and Nick Foligno on there, on the team with him to kind of help him along, I think Chicago is going to be a team to be reckoned with in the next couple of years. And again, Bedard looks very, very happy to be going there. And there's people that are already taken their they've gone and over under 40 goals next year for Bedard, and a lot of people are going over. So there's a lot of hype around this kid, and we'll see how if he can live up to that hype in Chicago in his rookie season. Now, number 2, this was in a way a little bit surprising, but some people it was a surprise. I mean, it was a little bit of a surprise to me, but I could understand it. And that's Leo Carlsson going to Anaheim. A lot of people were thinking that was going to be Adam Fantilli. Well, Adam Fantilli went 3rd, And I think Anaheim made a good pick, and I think Columbus has made a good pick with Fantilli. And I think both of those teams are definitely taking the right step. Number 4, drafting number 4, of course, is the San Jose Sharks, and they draft Will Smith. No, not that Will Smith, but Will Smith, who came up to the draft podium after he got drafted. To when he's making his walk, he comes out to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song. How cool is that? I thought that was so cool. And then when he's doing the interview with Emily Kaplan, he's singing the song word for word. It's absolutely fantastic. And I think San Jose has gotten themselves a really good player. And I mean, he comes up to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song. I mean, come on. That right there is incredible. And then of course he goes and he sings the theme song. Hell yeah. So I think San Jose definitely made a good pick there. But now, as it got down to number 4, I started thinking, okay, there's one guy. Where is he at? He's kind of dropping. And I kept thinking, okay, this could be interesting. The fact that he got past number 4. I was thinking, honestly, that at 5, Montreal was going to take him. They didn't, though. They took David Reinbacher, who again is I think what was he, a defenseman? Pretty good player. He's obviously, he's going to take a little, he's going to take some time to develop and whatever, but there's no rush. Montreal's in the middle of a rebuild, so they're not really in a big rush or anything. So they picked Reinbacher, and it got to number 6 in the Arizona Coyotes, and he's still there. And I'm thinking, and I'm thinking, oh no, don't. I'm like, I don't want him going to Arizona. No, don't Arizona, don't pick him. They didn't. Fortunately, they drafted Dmitry Simashev. Not a horrible pick. I think he could turn out to be a relatively serviceable player, and see what he can develop into for Arizona. Now we get to number 7, and it only made sense. If he would have gotten by 7, I truly believe he would not have gotten past number 8. So at number 7, the Philadelphia Flyers, they do it. They draft Matvei Michkov. Even though he has this contract in the KHL for the next 3 years, the Flyers take a chance on him. And honestly, he looked good wearing that Flyers uniform. I thought he looked really good wearing it. I think he's going to enjoy playing there. And I'm going to say when he comes over, because I do believe he is going to come over. Unless the whole political BS going on over in Russia, they, try to deny him. But, he's got to play out those next 3 years. And Philadelphia does not seem to, they're not in a rush. They're, Daniel Briere, their general manager, went and said, hey, he's, we're not in a hurry. We're not in a hurry. He's got 3 years left on this contract. We have no problem waiting, which I thought was awesome. I thought that was awesome because Philadelphia, they are in the midst of a rebuild, so they can afford to wait for Michkov. Now me as a Wild fan, I'm thinking as I'm seeing this, especially after it got past number 4, it's running through my head. I'm trying to will Bill Guerin, the Wild's general manager. Bill, come on. Work something out here. Find a way to work yourself into that number 5 pick and grab Michkov. Because I knew he wasn't going to drop to Minnesota. I figured the only way he'd be able to that Minnesota would be able to get him is if they were to trade up somehow. I kept thinking, now I don't know what he would have had to have given up, but it got to Montreal. When it got to Montreal after San Jose picked Will Smith, my whole thought is, I'm just thinking, I'm like, come on, Bill, come on, make something happen. Make a play, make something happen. Find a way to get that number 5 draft pick and slide in there and steal Michkov. Of course, he didn't do it. The Wild didn't do it, but he landed at number 7. He's a member of the Philadelphia. He will be a member of the Philadelphia Flyers, and I think it's awesome. I think Philadelphia, they have got themselves a dynamic player, and they have no problem waiting for him to come over, because it's not like the Flyers are really going to be a playoff contender for the next potentially 2 to 3 years. So, you rebuild, you retool a little bit, maybe get, a couple, get in the draft lottery again next year, try to get some more good young players, and hopefully start seeing a rise in the standings. And then maybe by the time Michkov comes over, he can help get Philadelphia up in the division, maybe into the playoffs, and then who knows? So I really like that Michkov landed in Philadelphia. I think it was a good pick for Philadelphia, and I don't know if they were going to pick him initially. It's just the fact that it's their turn to pick. He's still sitting there. You got to grab him. Because honestly, in my opinion, if Philadelphia doesn't take him, Washington does. And Washington took Ryan Leonard. Now, that was somebody that Philadelphia was looking at getting. Philadelphia was actually kind of eyeing him, but when they saw that Michkov is still there, I think they kind of pivoted and said, "No, we got to grab Michkov." Because honestly, I think if Michkov would have dropped into the Capitals' lap, he was not getting past Washington. And if Washington would have been, dumb enough to let him go by them, darn well Steve Yzerman would have said, we're putting him in a wet Red Wing uniform. Because the Red Wings ended up drafting Nate Danielson, and then at number 10, St. Louis drafted Dalibor Dvorsky. Some really good young players. But, a lot of the whole thing was, how far is Michkov going to drop? He did drop a bit, but he dropped down to number 7. He dropped into the lap of the Philadelphia Flyers. And I think the Philadelphia Flyers, the fact that they are a rebuilding team, they're not in a rush to get him over here. I mean, if they really wanted to get him bad enough, they probably could find a way to get him out of his contract in the KHL. But as of right now, they're sticking with the fact that he's got 3 years to play over there. We can wait because we're not a playoff team right now. We're a team that's rebuilding, and we can afford to wait for this kid. So I really like that Philadelphia grabbed him. He looked fantastic in that Flyers jersey, and yeah, it was really cool. So that is kind of the top 10. Of course, the one that I was, really, watching intently to see where he was going to go was Matvei Michkov. And when he was still sitting there and Arizona came up to draft him, I'm thinking the whole time, no, not Arizona. Like, no, I don't want to see Michkov go to Arizona. Not that, not that literal disaster. I'm thinking, no, don't do it. I'm like, no, Arizona, don't say Matvei Michkov. Fortunately, they didn't. I'm like, oh, thank goodness. I literally was like, oh, thank you, because I did not want him going to Arizona. If there's a place that is not gonna foster growth in a player's game, it's Arizona, with all of their drama they got going on. So Michkov ends up going to the Philadelphia Flyers at number 7, which is cool. I really am. I'm really glad that he didn't get picked by Arizona. I'm glad Philadelphia picked him up. I think they realized this is a kid that some people say is even better than Bedard, and he's there, and we got to take the best player available. He was the best player available, and Philly said, thank you. So they draft Michkov. So let me know what you guys think. Were you guys surprised that Michkov dropped down to number 7? Or did you guys think that maybe Michkov would have dropped even lower? I, of course, was trying to will through the TV away for Bill Guerin to move up, to get into that 5th spot with where Montreal was, and try to, find their way, will their way into that 5th spot, so they could go up there and say, with the number 5 pick, we draft Matvei Michkov. Because put that kid alongside Kirill Kaprizov, yeah, the thought of that had me going, oh, please. So that's why I was wanting Bill Guerin to find a way to get up to number 5. But he didn't do it. He goes number 7 to Philadelphia, and I think it's a good pick for Philly. And like I said, they're not in any hurry. They'll let him run out the 3 years remaining on his contract, and then hopefully they can get him to come over. So let me know what you guys think. Did you guys watch the first round of the draft, or did you just kind of see highlights or whatever? I watched the whole first round. It's so neat watching the first round of the draft. And no trades made on the draft, right there on the draft floor. No trades made, because a whole bunch of them were made during the week. So let me know what you guys think. And like I said, I think I'm going to have to do an updated bottom 5, top 5 list. Because I think some teams may have made some moves that have moved them out of that bottom 5, and moved some teams, and moved at least 1 or 2 teams that were not in the top 5 into the top 5. So I think I might have to do another video on that, do a little update on that, and see where some of these other teams get put. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Again, if you haven't done so already, it would be awesome. It would be greatly appreciated if you would hit that like button, hit subscribe, hit the little bell to turn on notifications if you want to be notified anytime future videos are uploaded. And And yeah, tomorrow is rounds 2 through 7, and we'll see what more trades are made, and we'll see who else goes where, and yeah, look for an updated bottom 5 teams and an updated top 5 teams, because I think there's been some changes in those. So again, let me know what you guys think. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the little bell if you want to be notified of future videos. If you have not done that yet already, go ahead and do that, and I will see you guys later.